So, welcome everyone to this webinar Spotlight on Partners, Meet and Greet Our New Integrations. I'm very happy that you are here with us today to hear about our new integrations. My name is Isabel and I am a Customer Success Manager here at Atera, and I'm really excited for today's session and I hope you are excited too. So, I am joined today by our partners from Axcient, Emsisoft, and Ironscales. They will present themselves during this session and give you a brief overview of their products that are now available for you on the Atera platform. They will not only present themselves, but also answer your questions live, which you can post in the Q&A section that you can see below. This is also not a demo, but rather a quick introduction. You will hear more about how you can use these integrations to improve your IT business. This will help you to broaden your feature set and expand your IT support offering to your own customers and also to your colleagues. But I will leave it to our partners to tell you more about the integration. So we are going to be talking to all of our customers. So whether you are an IT department, an MSP, or an IT consultant. So please take the time to join us, send your questions for our partners via the Q&A section. We will have time towards the end of each of our partners' session to answer them. Let's get started. We are going to start with our partners from Axcient, our new backup solution. We have Charles Tomeo, CRO at Axcient. And in the background, we have Corey Hintz, who is a sales engineer manager at Axcient, and he will be in charge of answering all of your questions in the Q&A section. So Charles, the stage is yours.
Great. Let me just try to get my video on. Okay. Well, thanks, Isabella. I appreciate the introduction. I'm Charlie Tomei. I'm the CRO with Axcient. I've been in the vendor space for well over 22 years, and have been focused on channel pretty much the whole time, and certainly the managed service provider space the past 10 years. Appreciate being a part of the Atera family. We're excited about this opportunity and working with all the Atera partners. So let me tell you a little bit about Axcient. Our main job at Axcient is curing data loss and making sure that we're able to keep your businesses running. And really, with the way things have changed, I think for everybody over the past couple of years, we're seeing that protecting your data is getting harder and harder. Certainly, the threats have been elevated, especially going after the small to medium businesses as well as managed service providers. We're seeing that it's getting harder and harder to get talent. I know we see that as a vendor as well. The hybrid and remote workforces has definitely added an additional complication because now your data seems to be almost everywhere. And definitely increasing, complexity in your overall tech stack and some changes from vendor standpoint as there are acquisitions. And ultimately from a, business continuity disaster recovery standpoint, we believe that the, storage and billing models are very outdated. So what we're looking to do is help you stop the complexity and simplify, how you manage your data. And how we're going to do that is by streamlining your tech stack. So, what we found is the average partner has over 4 different backup vendors. We're also going to make sure you simplify your services. So, as things evolve and change, we want to make sure that we're able to help you do that. And overall, we're going to make sure that you make money. And it's doing that 2 ways, by saving time and also making margin. So the product, in our tech stack that I want to talk about today, and this is something that you could get today through Atera. It's our X360 Recover direct-to-cloud capabilities. This is a full business continuity disaster recovery offering. We have everything from auto verify, air gap technology, which is something that can help protect you from internal and external threats. But it gives you that full capability of a traditional backup as well as a disaster recovery. And we take the complexity out of adding the hardware. So you could either bring your own hardware if you choose to, or you could just leverage the cloud. It gives you the ability to have things like virtual office. So, for example, you happen to be going into a meeting, you're presenting, you spill coffee on your laptop. Within 10 minutes, you could be able to spin it up in a virtual instance and be able to work as if your laptop is still there. And then, auto verify just makes sure that you could be rest assured that when you do need your backups to work, that it's been verified already in the cloud. So I want to give you an example of one of our partners today that when we started out partnering with them, we were one of 25 vendors that they use for backup. And in looking at it and looking at our tech stack and the fact that we're able to provide basically a full offering of all of their backup and disaster recovery needs, they were able to get that down to 5 vendors, and I think actually they're trending towards this year to be down to 3. One of the big things that they saw was a reduction in tickets as they did that, as they moved more over to that, as well as just saving time from an employee standpoint of onboarding. So as they were getting up to speed, you didn't have to learn 25 different backups. It just made them more profitable. The other one is BIS Technology Group. He really just simplified the services, and what he did went with, he's an exclusive Axcient partner today. And one of the things that he's found is a big reduction in support tickets and bigger margins from what he's looking for. He simplified onboarding, training, supporting, and overall billing. So, what he's finding now is, especially with some of the changes, he's even backing up laptops. So he's making sure that their data is always protected and always available. So, why would you choose Axcient? What's the difference? As you said, there's a lot of vendors that are in the space. One of the things is chain-free backup. So they're independent backups. And you don't have to reseed them, so you don't have data bloat. And depending on what region, I see there's a bunch of people from kind of in the U.S., Brazil, Germany. If you have issues with bandwidth, if you stop, the backup just continues from where it left off. Air gap is one of the bigger features where it will protect against the bad actors outside, but also anybody inside. So it's a way for us to protect your data, if you had a rogue employee that decided to delete the data. We would make sure that that's protected. We would recognize that was not something that was intended to do, and we would have a separate backup sitting alongside of it. And then ultimately, it's just the flexibility on how we do business. So, like I said, you could bring your own hardware, you could work with us. So there's multiple data centers internationally, as well as within the US, and then worry-free pricing. So we have unlimited storage, unlimited retention. So you never really have to worry about storage and changes in pricing as you go from month to month. And Isabel, now we have for questions. I don't know, Corey, if you've been answering anything.
Yes, I have. thank you everybody for submitting your questions. I'm more than happy to answer any further questions you might have. I'm addressing the ones we already have, so thank you again.
Oh, look, my camera finally worked. All right, so now you get to see me. It's just not the picture. Sorry about that. So yes, we do offer services in Germany. We currently have an Amsterdam data center that you can leverage. And it looks like we need there's somebody that wants us to reach out, Corey, so we could get Robert's information.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, so as far as hosting your own data or where the backup data is being stored, you can easily host it in our data center or in your own private data center as well. So whatever that might be, if that's your own colo, your own infrastructure, or even public cloud, if you prefer, you have a lot of flexibility. So very, very easily to simply choose. As far as one of the other questions here, so pricing structure, it's going to be basically per endpoint, so per server or per workstation basis. They're going to give you unlimited cloud retention and unlimited data per endpoint as well. There is a fair use policy to that, but it is essentially unlimited data with unlimited retention. So you can very, very easily have 7+ years, 10+ years of retention without having to do any kind of annual best practice or reseeding or any kind of rebasing either. So Chris, now the pricing for storage as well as the endpoint license itself, it's all bundled into one. So no separate fees, no separate costs, no per gigabyte. It's all rolled in. For D2C in the UK, Liam, great question. Yes, so it would be going, if you host your own data center in the UK, you can very easily send it to that. Or it is going to be going to our Amsterdam data center. And as for hardware, so with our solution, part of the beauty of it is a hardware-less or direct-to-cloud offering. So there is no appliance or any VDR needed whatsoever, but still giving you the full featured business continuity, full image-based disaster recovery scenario capabilities. So even though, again, it is direct-to-cloud, it is going to be full image-based. It's not going to be any watered-down feature set or anything like that either. And yeah, Robert, more than happy to get with you on a one-on-one, just to kind of go over some comparisons to what you might have experience with, or any other questions you might have there. And Richard, as far as the integration currently, that's just going to essentially just simply ease the adoption of the solution. So being able to purchase it through the Atera marketplace. And auto verify, just to kind of take a second on that, auto verify is a variety of different data integrity checks. One of those being an actual screenshot verification. So every single night, it's going to do a series of different data integrity checks. So some of those are going to be either daily, some of them are going to be weekly, but that will virtualize your D2C endpoints in the actual data center side, producing a screenshot of what you would see in the event you ever needed to virtualize that system for DR testing or an actual true DR scenario. And then from there, it's going to be doing integrity checks, make sure your system files are all correct, that the VM, the hypervisor has full access, full control over the virtualization job itself. And then from there, you're able to generate any kind of VHDs or VMDKs, VHDXs, all that kind of good stuff from there as well.
Hey, just please read out the questions because attendees cannot see them. So make sure you read them and then answer.
Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you for that. Warmack, you asked about bare metal restore. Yes, so our solution can easily facilitate BMR capabilities to similar and to dissimilar hardware. So if you are backing up, say, a Dell server and you need to replace it down the road with an HP server or white box, unit, you can very easily do bare metal restore to similar or to dissimilar hardware, giving the ability to inject any kind of driver packs you need as well.
Okay, Corey, I think we need to wrap up your session. Charlie, if you can maybe stop sharing your screen so I can continue. Okay. Thank you. So thanks again, Charles, and also Corey for the presentation. I really think you're adding great value to our platform, and I'm sure everyone who's watching can see it too. So I'm going to share my screen again. We will now continue with Luke Connolly. He is a partner manager at Emsisoft, and he's going to introduce you to our new endpoint security solution. We have Davlat Aminov as well, who is Director of Sales and Business Development at Emsisoft, and he will dedicate his time to answering your questions in the Q&A section in the meantime. So please feel free to send in your questions, and Luke, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Isabel. Just sharing my screen now. So hello and welcome to our presentation about Emsisoft. My name is Luke Connolly and I'm with Emsisoft's Partner Success Team. What I'd like to do very briefly today is give you an idea of some of our product's key differentiators and how we can help your business and your customers. Just a reminder that if you do ask questions in the Q&A section while I'm presenting, you may see Davlat from our team typing the response. Emsisoft has been around for just about 20 years now. The company was founded in Austria in 2003 and moved to New Zealand in 2014. We're a product-focused company and our primary objectives are product quality and ethical business practices. In terms of product quality, you'll see this in the presentation. We have core functionality that's focused on providing very effective endpoint protection, and that's used across all of our products. Regarding business practices, as one example, we place a high importance on customer privacy, so we minimize the collection and storage of user data. The enterprise level protection that we offer in all of our products benefits through continuous evolution, starting with anti-Trojan and antivirus capabilities through next generation AV with behavior analysis and EDR. All this to say that we strive to provide the best endpoint protection and to be the best possible vendor for MSPs. We have 3 products on offer with Atera: Emsisoft Anti-Malware Home, Emsisoft Business Security, and Emsisoft Enterprise Security. As I mentioned earlier, they all use the same multi-layered protection and differ in their market-specific features. All 3 products also have the same endpoint UI, so from a management perspective, it's very easy to switch between the 3. Our protection leverages both endpoint and cloud components, any of which can trigger detections. The endpoint protection itself provides multiple defensive layers: web and browser protection for internet activity, a traditional signature engine, and behavior analysis to detect malicious patterns that may represent a zero-day exploit. Our cloud component specifically looks for activity indicative of MITRE attack TPs using temporal analysis of events to identify the initial entry of threats. Of course, the TTPs are tactics, techniques, and procedures. All of this with an objective of making great protection accessible. And while we're looking at the endpoint UI, one area of functionality I'd like to touch on is our ability to co-brand and customize it using our management console. By default, at the top of the endpoint, the interface has Emsisoft branding, and at the bottom, there's a security news section. With our management console, you can change the UI to have your own logo and branding, as well as your own message at the bottom. And ultimately, as an MSP, once you have a customer, It helps to be able to maintain a level of awareness with that customer, and co-branding allows you to reinforce the value of your relationship as well as the value of the service that you're providing. Of primary interest to MSPs is our cloud-based management console. And this provides a single interface to configure and manage protection for all of your customers. The overall design philosophy we have with our products is to only present relevant and useful information. While the management console obviously has a lot of features and functionality, I'll highlight and touch on just a couple of things today. It goes without saying that with multiple layers of protection, monitoring for known as well as unknown threats, there are a lot of options that can be configured across a company as a whole, as well as for individual endpoints. The Emsisoft Management Console allows you to prepare policy templates, which are used to make configurations and exclusions simple and repeatable. And when a configuration is applied to a customer through a policy template, those changes are pushed out to endpoints in near real time. So we're talking in the order of seconds for changes to be propagated to all of the endpoints across your entire network. This is particularly important if you want to blacklist an application and you need the changes to be applied as quickly as possible. In terms of EDR functionality, there's a fair bit of marketing fog around EDR, so it may be worthwhile to start with a definition. Endpoint detection and response is a system to gather and analyze threat-related information from endpoints in order to find security breaches as they happen and facilitate a quick response. And one of our newest features is EDR, and with it, we provide your team with detailed information and analysis capabilities to help identify and remediate potential threats, as I just described. Our EDR functionality has two main panels in our management console, the incidents panel and the threat hunting panel. The incidents panel we see here allows you to do a deep dive into specific potential threats, to gather more information and to determine whether they're malicious or benign. You can see the execution timeline I mentioned earlier, and that captures related processes and artifacts such as registry entries and files which may have been affected. We provide links to specific MITRE ATT&CK TTPs, which the activity most closely represents. MITRE ATT&CK is an open framework of known bad guy behavior, and it helps to develop an effective, it can be used to help develop an effective defense strategy, and this is why we used it and referenced it in our product. While investigating an incident, the panel also allows you to specify its status. So whether it's under investigation, confirmed malicious or benign, and to assign the incident to an individual within your NOC for follow-up. You can also perform remediation with a single click to blacklist and quarantine a file or to whitelist a specific file. And in the most egregious cases, you can also isolate the endpoint to allow you to continue the investigation while eliminating the threat of lateral movement, exfiltration, or command and control communications. Once isolated, the only communication that the endpoint is capable of is with our management console. The second part of our EDR capabilities is our threat hunting panel. And this is a very versatile and extremely powerful tool that's based on OS Query, which is an open source framework that allows you to perform SQL-like queries of endpoint operating system status and configurations. So it allows you from one page to search across any or all of your endpoints to look for specific indicators of compromise. With the insights from the incidents panel, our threat hunting panel allows you to actively look for potential threats across your entire network from a single interface. The threat hunting panel comes with almost 36 queries out of the box, and you can construct and save your own, of course, to extend that list. And with Emsisoft, this functionality is a standard part of our enterprise offering, so it's available at no incremental cost. In summary, we're very excited about our new partnership with Atera, and I'd like to leave you with 3 points highlighting why you should look to Emsisoft for your endpoint protection. First of all, we offer strong enterprise-level solutions with multiple layers of protection, including behavior analysis and endpoint detection and response. Secondly, our cloud-based management console is easy to use and designed specifically for MSPs, such as yourselves, to use in your day-to-day operations. And finally, our products are priced very competitively, helping to make a positive impact on your bottom line while protecting your customers. And with that, I'd like to thank you very much for your time today and your interest in Emsisoft. And Q&A. Let me look at the Q&A. So one question is, what countries do we operate in? So Emsisoft operates in any country that's not currently sanctioned by the US, and there are just licensing issues, obviously, that prevent us from doing that. Can you prevent an end user from changing settings? Yeah, that's a good question. So there are two ways that you can do that. The endpoint, in the endpoint settings in a policy template, you can set an administrative password, and then any endpoint changes can't be accomplished without someone entering that administrative password. The other way is with security management, which is a configuration on our platform that can be set to remote only. And in that setting, users don't have any access to the configuration options. They just see the status of their protection, and they have no configuration capability. And how do you always stay on top of detection events? So events happening on the endpoints are reported to our console in near real time. So, but also there are times when you're not at your workstation, at your PC. And my Emsisoft is our management console is mobile friendly, so you can have it as an application. Progressive web app on your mobile device. And in addition to that, you can specify notifications by event. So whatever events you want to be sent to your email address, for example, you can specify that and configure that, or have them sent to an external system. In terms of platforms, we're currently PC only, although we're constantly evaluating the marketplace, and we do realize that Macs represent currently over 20% of the desktops. So with that, I will let you draw your own conclusions, but I can't answer specifically.
But just to add to that is that we're currently working on the Mac project as well. So down the line, hopefully will be the Mac version as well. There are a couple of other questions that I can quickly answer. Is one is that do we offer free trial period per customer? Yes, we offer free trial as well for every customer. Each of your customers can try Emsisoft for free of charge for 30 days. And then is there an installer that would potentially remove any previous antivirus software? Unfortunately, we don't have that. We don't have a feature that would uninstall your existing antivirus and endpoints.
I'll just add to the 30-day trial as well, Davlat. All of our MSP partners get not for resale NFR versions of our product for their own use in their operations.
Yeah, that option we have as well.
Are there functional limitations between the mobile app and the desktop app? No. So the desktop app is actually a web page, and the mobile app is a progressive web app implementation of the same web page. So it's exactly the same thing.
Another question is, what's the difference between your business security offering and the enterprise offering? The major difference is that, for example, the enterprise supports Active Directory. That feature is available in the enterprise, but it's more about the EDR. We have the lighter version of EDR in the business edition, where you have the incidents, but the active threat hunting is available in the enterprise edition.
So do we provide or work with a SOC or provide any integration with one? We're not currently aligned with any specific SOC, but that's something that we're constantly evaluating. SOC being obviously Security Operations Center.
Do we compare with likes of Huntress? Well, we haven't done one-on-one comparison, but as far as I know, Huntress doesn't have their own AV onto our solution. They use the Windows Defender integration. I think they offer some kind of active ADR functionality, but I'm not sure about it. So, I think Emsisoft is full security software that differs much with the Hunters.
Okay, that was the last question. So thank you, Luke and Davlad, for this introduction to your solution. It was awesome, and I'm really glad to see your solution on our platform. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Good. So I will go ahead and share my screen again, because now we will welcome David Habusha, who is SVP of Product Management at Ironscales, our new email security solution. And we also have Nama Cohen, who is a product manager at Ironscales, and she will be answering your questions in the Q&A section. So please, David, the stage is yours.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Isabel, for the opportunity. We're very excited to be here and excited with the partnership with Atera. Without further ado, and having Nama with me on the call, I'll start sharing my deck. So we are Ironscales, and as Isabel said, we have Nama Cohen as a product manager in my team with me to answer your questions as we go. So feel free to use the Q&A section to ask any questions. A brief overview of the company. We are an 8-year-old company, headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia, but we also have offices in Tel Aviv, Israel, and the UK. Our sector is email security, phishing mitigation. We also provide messaging security solutions. We are post-round C late last year. And we've already passed the 7,000 customer mark. And we do work with MSPs for a few years. We already have more than 1,300 MSPs signed up with us, actively working with the solution. So the solution is definitely MSP ready. The way we look at the world is that the user is the new endpoint. And we've kind of shifted from being just an email security vendor to look at the overall user communications. So anything that the user sends or receives, it's something that we're either covering or will be covering soon. We've started with supporting Microsoft Teams protection and account takeover. But the idea is that the solution is covering email protection as well as other communication channels for users. The platform is, of course, software as a service. It is based on APIs, mailbox level anomaly detection. So we're not a secure email gateway. We see every email going into the user's mailbox, every email being sent from the user's mailbox. We create a social behavior graph for users, and we understand the normal communications and the deviation from the norm. And by that, we are able to detect and remediate the most sophisticated modern business email compromise attempts. This is the new era of email security solution, including credential harvesting, account takeover, and additional type of attacks happening through email or messaging platforms. The platform also has an integrated phishing simulation and training and security awareness training. So we look at users' risk 360. We analyze the overall risk pertaining to every mailbox in the organization, whether coming from the security awareness or phishing simulation campaigns, as well as the real-life phishing threat attempts on the users, as well as the user's behavior. We also have a way or a vehicle to report phishing incidents, and we also take that into consideration. The platform itself is using the community to feed its machine learning and AI algorithms in two ways. One is every decision being made by a SOC analyst on a malicious or a suspicious email is being fed back into the machine learning and helps us make better decisions. And we have more than 20,000 SOC analysts already using the platform, and every decision is contributing back to the community, as well as every user has a report phishing button in their mail client, whether on desktop or mobile. So every decision being made by a user is triggering another scan and also helps this platform make better decisions. The platform includes, beyond just understanding the social graph and behavior of users and anomalies, also advanced malware and URL protection. So we scan attachments, we scan URLs for malicious content and malicious links. As I mentioned, we work as a mailbox level anomaly detection engine. So we don't just work as a secure email gateway looking at the content, and if we see something malicious, we block the email. We actually look at every type of communications, even after the email has been received by the user. Our incident response solution, which is a complete security orchestration and response, or a SOAR, includes all the evidence and all the supporting data to make decisions by SOC analysts. But the truth of the matter is that the SOC analysts need to make only very few decisions. Most of the classification decisions are being done by Themis, which is our AI-powered SOC analyst and incident response capability. As I mentioned, it's all decentralized. So the threat detection, anything that we see in one of our customers' accounts is automatically fed into the system and automatically creates a new detection among all of our customers. So definitely that's the power of working with thousands or tens of thousands of MSPs and tens of thousands of customers. It's all integrated with a customized phishing simulation training that includes a gamified experience alongside training videos with customized banners, customized templates and landing pages, so you can customize it, to include your branding and your content in your languages. And the reason for this partnership is, that we believe that a lot of the businesses out there work with MSPs, and MSPs can provide this type of service to your customers. What we offer to Atera partners and customers is what we call the Email Protect plan, which includes all the email protection capabilities alongside the integrated security awareness solution that includes the simulation and training and the videos. And Email Protect allows you to use the power of the community, use the power of AI and ML, and anything that slips through the traditional defenses like SEGs or the existing Microsoft plans. So the benefit for your customers, again, is the next generation protection against advanced phishing attempts, vendor impersonation, business email compromise, vendor account compromise. We look at various different signals, and it's all being analyzed by machine learning. Very fast onboarding. Customers love the product because it's very easy to use and provides quick value. There's a significant time savings because most of the decisions are being done by the machine. You get an integrated security awareness training, so you have a single vendor to do both the detection, prevention, and training. And we also provide a mobile app for SOC analysts so you can make quick decisions on the go. Benefit for you, you can do the dual registration, you can consume the service through the Atera platform, profitable margins, you get a dedicated partner manager and a customer success manager, like every other customer or every other MSP will get from Ironscales. You get all the resources to our knowledge base and training and enablement resources. We do joint marketing and events with our partners. We will help you with product demo support and proof of value access. And definitely, our marketing team will help with some spiffy incentives. So with that, happy to take some questions. I'm sure that Nama is answering questions during the presentation, but also happy to take some questions now. I see a question about, can you elaborate more on the AI-powered response? How does this improve our protection? So because we look at anomalies, because we can make automated decisions by the machine, we're capable of detecting and preventing most of these issues automatically by the system. The incident will be classified by the machine as either a phishing attempt or a spam. It will be quarantined from the user's mailbox or moved to the spam folder. And you as a SOC analyst or an MSP will be able to see it as part of the classified events. You can revert the decision, but most often you will just see the machine doing most of the work for you. I see only one other question. I had a customer just this morning who was a victim of an email phishing scam based out of Nigeria, gaining access to vendors and 65 credentials. Yes, we have an account takeover detection. Again, it's based on looking at multiple different signals coming from the environment, like where the users are logging in from. But also we look at the language users are using. We look at abnormal behaviors, like all of a sudden users defining forwarding rules from the email. We see marks of lateral movement within the organization. So again, after an organization believes that there was an account takeover, we will be able to detect it. And we also have mitigating actions such as immediately logging all the existing sessions out of the account, blocking it, or resetting the password. So definitely that's part of the Ironscales platform. Much like other products, how does Ironscales compare to other competitors on specific features? Where is the overlap? How does it complement or replace M365 services? So as I mentioned, the secure email gateways stand between the sender and the mail server, and they're just usually looking at the content. So they will look for suspicious links or attachments, but they will not be able to mitigate the common modern business email compromise attempts in which somebody will impersonate as the head of finance or as the CEO, sending an email to one of the employees asking them to transfer money somewhere or to send them their credentials. Most of these emails will look legit to either Microsoft or the secure email gateways, but they will not look legit to us because we look at deviations from the normal behavior. And definitely, when you run the product, it runs a 90-day scan back. So, just by running it for the first time and after everything synchronizes, you already see a lot of those messages that passed the secure email gateways and the Microsoft even E5 and were caught and mitigated by the Ironscales platform. So most of those sophisticated new attacks will be caught by the platform. Does this only work with certain email services, or can it be used with any email provider? The platform works with all the cloud vendors, so Microsoft Office 365, Google Workspace. We also work with on-prem Exchange. Not all the functions are available, like community and other functionalities will not be available for on-prem Exchange. But on on-prem installations of Ironscale, but with the cloud versions and most of our customers are there, we are capable to provide the full functionality for our customers. We shared mailboxes. Oh, sorry.
The time is over. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But thanks for your contribution, David and Nama. I am sure our users see great benefit in your solution, and we're glad to have you on board. So thanks so much again. And before we wrap up this session, I just want to remind everyone again to trial out these new integrations. A free 30-day trial is available for all 3 integrations. Also, please have a look at our knowledge base where you can find more information about them. Also, this session is going to be recorded and shared with everyone, and it is also going to be shared on Facebook, on our Facebook community, which you are welcome to join and make use of course. And if there should be more questions, please send them over to success@atera.com. And lastly, I want to say thank you to the audience, and especially to our amazing partners who joined this webinar today. It was really a pleasure. And one last side note, please stay tuned for more launches of new integrations. We will be adding more in the near future and expanding our offer to you. So see you soon. Thanks again, and bye now.